Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today I have a personal message just for you. So today I have a personal message, and I will say this is one that's been a long time coming. Now, I often tell people, and I'll do all kinds of posts as we get closer to the election, that sort of thing, and kind of like go and vote. Literally, my message is go vote. Go vote what's in your heart. Go vote what's in your mind, body, and soul of the right person for the right job. I myself vote a little differently than most people, I guess, I do my research. So I do a lot of research of kind of like, what are the promises that person made, not only to me, but maybe my state or my county or my city. So kind of like, what are the promises that this person made, and are they living up to those agreements? Because so many times, and I even noticed this as a young person, I remember like late teenage years, and my grandparents and my uncle and my aunt were all talking about like the election and who they thought were a good person, and who, I'm saying, like, who should I vote for, and why, and all that kind of stuff. And I thought it was really interesting that they really never talked about what that person promised them when they first got into office. So maybe they're voting for them for the second time or third time or fifth time or 10th time. But what was their promises? Did they live up to those agreements? Because I think it's really important that people really, really hear that. Because so many times people will tell me like, oh, my number one issue is this. And then I'll go look at that person's record, and it's like, you voted on this one issue. This one issue was your big, like, aha, this is why they're my person. But when they got into office, they didn't vote on that. Or they weren't there for that day. Or they weren't there for that month, or whatever it is. So why is that your one issue? You voted on them for this one reason, and they're not living up to that agreement. That's where we get into issues. That's where we get into problems. That's where we get into so many problems of people being in office for so many years and really not making a difference. There are so many people that have been in office, so many voting cycles, and they really haven't lived up to their agreements. That's kind of an interesting one, because to me, that was kind of their promise when they got into office. I promise I'm going to clean up the city, or I promise I'm going to take care of this problem or that problem. And that's just one of those things, like, they're not living up to that agreement. So why are you still voting for them? Does that make sense? That's my point, is really look at and take time to kind of investigate. What is it about this person So what is it about this one person that you're voting for to have that office? County judge, city commissioner, railroad commissioner, whatever it is, like whatever that position is, why are you voting for them? What is it about them that really makes you want to vote for them? And there's a lot of different reasons for a lot of different people. And I'm not talking about like the politics side of it. Is the person you voted into office? Did they do what they said they were going to do? Did they do the things they promised they were going to do? Have they fulfilled their obligations, and now they have a new promise? Because that's the really important part, that they are always kind of representing the people that they represent. So whatever that is, a city, a county, a state, the United States, like that, they're living up to those agreements. They're living up to what they promised their people they were going to do. And I think that's one of the most important things to do. But then the other one is go vote. And I had a really good friend, and people that really personally know me. One of my best friends, Doc, passed away many years, a couple of years ago. And it's like, it still tears me up inside. Doc was like 94 when he passed. He was like my best friend for many, many years. His wife was first my best friend, and then when she passed, he became my best friend. And I think that's kind of the important part, is that he would tell me, like, no matter what's going on, you need to go vote. He goes, I fought in World War II, so you have that right to go vote. You have the right to go into that polling box, and you have the right to click on that person's name and get your voice counted. And I think that's really important, because a lot of people nowadays are still talking about the last presidential election and things being stolen and not being stolen and all that kind of stuff. And I get that, but we still have the right. We still have that right to vote. We still have that voice to be heard. We still have that. We still need to get out there. And even if you think the election was stolen or not stolen, that's not the important part. It's more like, get your voice out there. And if you think it was stolen, now let's talk about that. If you think that last election was stolen in some way, shape, or form, the presidential, I've heard of state elections, people saying that was stolen, that sort of thing. So if you believe that was stolen, do something about it. Don't just sit back and relax and take it easy. Don't just sit back and relax and make it easy for everybody. Do something about it. Become a polling person. Be one that checks people in and make sure that the right people have the right identifications to get in and vote. Make sure that the law is being upheld. That's our part. That's our part of it. It's like our job, our duty to do that for not only us, but our country as well. And our city and our state and our counties, all of that makes a difference. And I'm telling you, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking where I can step up and I can help this voting process be the best it can be the most truthful, honest, literally the majority wins. That's the way I've always felt. You know what I'm saying? If the most people think the same way, then that's the person that's going to get in. And then we get a chance to kind of see what they're going to do or what they're not going to do. And if they don't live up their obligations, then we have the right to vote them out the next time. That's part of our job, is to kind of really think about it in that way. It's like our job to really think about that and vote our heart, our soul, and our mind. But we can only do that if we've done the homework behind it. Have they fulfilled their obligations? What in their past would keep them from upholding the obligations that they're taking? What is it that, are they a truthful person? Have they been someone who's like already outstanding in their community and now just want to take that to the next level? That's really the important part, is allowing that energy to come forward so we are led by the best of us, the best people with the best intentions for all of us, not just for one, for everybody, not just for themselves, for everybody. Because I will tell you that for a long time, I've known that this year and next year are going to change a lot of things in our country, in our states, in our counties, our parishes, and kind of even all the way down into our cities. Things are going to change, and you can be part of the change or you can be not part of the change. But one of the best ways to do that is to step out in your own community and do what needs to be done, and to help other people, and to help this voting process, help everybody else's voice count. Help the voices count that really, really matter, the ones that have really done that insight and that insightful thoughtness of like, this is the person that's the best person for this job. They're going to do the best job, not because they're my friend or because of anything else or they promised me something. It's because in my heart of hearts, I know they're going to do the best, not only for me, but my community as well. So my ending message is definitely go vote. It's that important. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.